Hello fans and friends across the universe and welcome to my YouTube channel From Me to You. My name's Keir Smith. If you've stumbled across my channel here for the first time then, welcome. I'm a huge Beatles fan and a huge fan of George Harrison's solo work. As a complete back catalogue, it's not perfect, but for the most part I like it. And the well-worn narrative will tell you that All Things Must Pass is the George album to own, and it is, but his other albums are well worth exploring too. There are many great songs from George's 10 studio albums from 1970's All Things Must Pass through 2002's Brainwashed that should not be missed. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a track from each of those 10 studio albums that I think are well worth hearing, the lesser known tracks, the album tracks. From 1970's All Things Must Pass, I've chosen the song Art of Dying, which is on side A of the third record. And there's a great band on this song. Jim Gordon on drums, Gary Wright on piano, Bobby Keys is blowing the saxophone, and of course, Eric Clapton and George Harrison on lead guitar. There's a really cool wah-wah infused guitar riff on the intro, and that gives way to tumbling drums, swirling strings, and some frenetic soloing. It sounds fantastic. The lyrics go, "There'll come a time when all of us must leave here. There's nothing Sister Mary can do, will keep me here with you. There's nothing in this life that I've been trying could equal or surpass the art of dying. Do you believe me?" And I remember that this song scared me a bit when I first heard it as a 16-year-old boy all those years ago. I didn't want to hear George singing about dying. But this song has continued to grow on me through the years and it's now one of my favourites from the album. Bobby Keys' saxophone riff is fantastic, the drums are great, and that fierce soloing, whew, that's really good. And the lyrics are dark and philosophical, but meshed together with the music, it all sounds so good. It's a really exciting performance by the band and a great George Harrison song. Turn it up loud. From 1973's Living in the Material World, I've taken a song from side A called The Light That Has Lighted the World. I gush at this song. It's so perfect, beautifully played, a complete lyric and perfect. And some say that these lyrics are a little bit preachy and that George is having a bit of a moan, and maybe he is a little. He's talking here about people who won't accept change and who make it difficult for people to move on. The thoughts in their heads manifest on their brow, like bad scars from ill feeling they themselves arouse. So hateful of anyone that is happy or free, they live all their lives without looking to see the light that has lighted the world. I think that is absolutely brilliant. And Nicky Hopkins is such a skilled pianist and his playing here is so beautiful. And George, who plays all of the guitar parts here, especially that solo, which is exquisite. George really makes the guitar cry and you can feel the emotion coming out of his playing there. In particular, that instrumental break in the middle of the song is some of the best music I've ever heard. It's so great. 10 out of 10. My choice from 1974's Dark Horse album is taken from side 1 and it's a song called So Sad. And this song was started back in 1972, a couple of years before the release of the album, and George said of the song, "It is so sad. It was at the time I was splitting with Patty." But again, George's guitar playing is so good. I really like the descending guitar lines that precede the verses. But the lyrics are genuinely moving as George sings, "Now the winter has come to eclipse the sun that has lighted my love for some time. Now a cold wind blows, not much tenderness flows," and it rises into the chorus as he sings, and he feels so alone with no love of his own. So sad, so bad. And he plays those piercing slide guitar parts that sound really sad. It is sad, but thankfully George would move on to happier times, just not for a while. Because my choice from 1975's Extra Texture Read All About It album is taken from side 2 and is an equally sad song called Grey Cloudy Lies. And history tells us that George was in a really bad place when he was writing this album, and it certainly comes across in his lyrics. "Now I only want to live with no teardrops in my eyes, but at times it feels like no chance. No clear blue skies, grey cloudy lies." David Foster is playing some really nice piano here, and George is playing synthesizers, and Klaus Foreman came up with a bass part that I think George replaced with a Moog synthesizer sound, which acts as a nice hook. It's quite a simple and sparse arrangement, both moody and gloomy, and George sounds utterly despondent, and I'm not sure that this song would be a highlight for too many, but I really like it. From 1976, 33 and a third album, I've chosen a song that closes the album on side 2 of the record. It is Learning How to Love You. And this is a quiet, reflective and soulful ballad with a really pretty arrangement and, again, beautifully played. And George is in really good voice here. The vocal melody is really sweet, and I think the song details his struggle with faith, and it sounds like a very personal prayer to God. He sings, "While all is still in the night and darkness starts its flow, become or disbelieve me, left alone with my heart, I'm learning how to love you." The gentle twinkling keyboards and the light percussion really helped to set the mood for this late night atmospheric feel. I really like the structure of this song, and there's a lovely warm progression to it that leads up to George's exquisitely played acoustic guitar solo, one of the very best from his solo career, I think. It's one of those note perfect Harrison guitar solos, and I really like that part towards the end of the solo as it ascends before it drops back down into the bridge before the final verse. It's a gorgeous song, but I really like the way that it ends on that rather dour and gloomy note too. Be sure to give this one a listen, and if you do, lend your ears closely to that guitar solo. You won't be disappointed. From 1979's self-titled album, I've chosen the track that closes the album on side B, of course. It is If You Believe. And this song is strong in spirit and full of positivity, and you can hear George's newfound confidence and happiness beaming from his superb slide guitar parts. There's no looking back here, it's forward motion all the way, and George sings, "Too many troubles you can't control, to get you falling into the holes they dig for you. Get up, you have all your needs, pray. Give up, and it all recedes away from you. If you believe in you, everything you thought is possible, if you believe." And the chorus is semi-anthemic, so bright, uplifting, and, again, empowering. And I always feel that if the aforementioned So Sad was George's low point, then If You Believe is most definitely his high point. And for me, there's nothing better than a Beatle or an ex-Beatle in song telling me that things are good and things can get better if you believe. And this song certainly does that for me. It makes me feel good, happier. Trust me, if everyone took a dose of If You Believe, then the world would be a better place. And from 1981's Somewhere in England album, I've chosen the song Unconsciousness Rules. And this is another song that's grown on me through the years. It took many listens for me to come round to it. It didn't strike me as what I thought was a George Harrison song. Not that there has to be a set formula, but this is a zippy, quirky and catchy pop song, I guess. And they're all things I love, of course, but this one always sounded a little bit odd coming from George Harrison. But I've grown to love those doo-wop styled harmonies, and as they go on, I'm sure George is singing "All you little dickheads, all you little dickheads do." Correct me if I'm wrong. And the lyrics are equally funny, and it finds George wagging his finger at the disco goers of the day. George sings, "You dance at the discotheque, that's why you look such a wreck. Your face is pale, you look drawn, your clothes are dirty and torn. You've got a look in your eyes that says you're half alive and you're lost inside." Now, George is no stranger to partying. He's lived the Los Angeles high life, so he's qualified to pass judgment here, I think. But George's guitar work here is particularly impressive, playing some great melodic lines and Tom Scott's saxophone blaring away alongside, tastefully so. It's also very upbeat and catchy and hard to resist. It makes for a really good song. And from 1982's Gontropo album, I've chosen a song from side B, which is Unknown Delight. Good title. George sings about the joys of fatherhood in this sweet and tender ballad to his son, Darnie. And there's a lovely, sun-kissed and dreamy sway to this song. And these lyrics are beautiful, as George sings, "Sweetest innocence and free, God has given you the key to the hearts of everyone that comes in sight of you, and with all the love you bring, unknown delight. Longtime friend and session player Jim Keltner is playing really good drums here, and George's guitar playing once again is so fluid, so clean and so melodic. Listen closely. It's some of his best playing, I think. And that solo is so good. And if you listen closely, at the start of the solo, it sounds like the start of the solo from the Beatles' Something. Maybe for a second or two, George is referencing himself, which is pretty cool. And the backing vocals and the harmonies are really nice, especially around the chorus line. It's a really lush sounding song and really nice production. I love it. From 1987's Cloud 9 album, I've chosen the second song from side A, That's What It Takes. Cloud 9 was the first George Harrison studio album that I heard, and as soon as I heard this song, I was hooked immediately. And I love it when George does this type of song. He creates this warm, uplifting and spiritual feel effortlessly. And now it begins to shine, and you found the eyes to see each little drop, the dawn of every day. It invites you into this world of goodness. And I really like Jeff Lynne's production, the subtle synth flourishes, the clean sound of the acoustic guitars, and the guitar playing throughout this song is, again, stellar. George and Eric Clapton soloing together, it's great. And George is in really good voice again. The chorus is fantastic, and I really like Jeff Lynne's backing vocals on the outro. I love every bit of this song. It's another really great George Harrison song. And from George's final album from 2002, Brainwashed, I've chosen a song from side B, the song that closes the album, the title track. I really like that stomping intro to this song and the way that George's guitar line descends into the first verse. And George has one final rant warning us that we're all being brainwashed, and we are. He tells us that we've been brainwashed in our childhood by our school teachers, by kings and queens, and behind the scenes. Good rhyme that. And there's good humour here too. Brainwashed my cousin Bob. They even got my grandma when she was working for the mob. God, 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 a voice cries in the wilderness. I really like that bit too. And later on in the song you hear those electronic backing vocals that I'm sure that Jeff Lynne will have added. Brainwashed. And that breakdown in the middle of the song always makes me laugh when you hear that woman's voice come in with that teaching. The soul does not love, it is love itself. How to Know God, page 130. And the song plays out, unexpectedly so you might say, with that really touching mantra that George and Darnie are chanting together. It's really calm and soothing and meditative, of course. There's a lot going on in this song and it's been pieced together really well, and I think it's the perfect way for George to sign off from this world because it captures all of the best things about George. His sneering disapproval, his good humour, his faith and devotion, and of course, a really good song. So there you go, 10 lesser known album tracks from George's excellent solo career. And if you're a George fan and you don't know these songs, then go ahead and give them a listen. I'm sure you'll find at least 5 or 6 songs that you really like. And please do let me know any thoughts and comments that you have on any of these songs down below. And of course, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for my next video sometime soon. Until then, bye for now.